Coming up on this week's Timecast Pembroke Dock, we'll be having a chat about the doctor's surgery. We'll be having a chat about the junior school that used to be where the doctor's surgery now is. And I'll be asking why have we not got our own Christmas market? Because as you're about to see, there are loads of them in Pembrokeshire. All that, a whole load more on this week's Timecast Pembroke Dock.
Be strong.
Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of Pembroke Dock Towncast. What a crazy week last week was. What an absolutely insane week. Weather doesn't look like it's going to improve much this week where there's weather warnings out left, right, and centre. So, yeah, please do stay safe out there. We will try to put as much information out as we can. Feel free to tag us in all of your information and whatever. But yeah, it's kicking in proper, isn't it? What I will say is there's a whole load of people that I'm seeing on socials that are trying to stir stuff up and use the weather as some kind of um political point and all of this again. Ignore them, they're idiots. Let's just leave it at that. If you want to use my page to try and cause issues and cause problems and put comments on there that are just offensive or inappropriate, that's not going to happen. Okay, so yeah, let's keep it positive on that. Okay, let's. I promised you last week that we would do uh, a Christmas fair special. So there's loads of events going on over Christmas, loads and loads and loads of them. And we're quite lucky because we're quite close to a lot of them. But again, there isn't one in Pembroke Dock. Why isn't there one in Pembroke? We need to generate one in Pembroke Dock. Okay. Let's let's start with the big one. So this is the main Pembrokeshire Christmas fair, okay, or Christmas market. So it's Pembroke. It's at the castle. Friday 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday 10 a.m. 4 p.m. That is 28th to the 30th of November. So not this weekend. The weekend after. It's the last weekend in November is when it is on that. So yeah. What you've also got there, okay, so that's the traditional Christmas market. You've got all of your stalls, you've got lots of stuff going on outside, you've got your food stuff. Bit of a hint and tip for you, okay. Barty rum hot chocolate. Yum 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 yum. It is absolutely ding dong spot on. So if you're not driving, if you've got somebody to drive, take the bus up. I would take the bus up just so you can take the bus back and have a little bit of Barty rum hot chocolate because it really is very, very nice on that. Okay. What you've also got on that weekend is so this is again, it's the 28th, 29th, and 30th. You've got the Christmas shopping and courtyard market. So this is like right opposite the castle, or virtually opposite the castle. If you're coming out of the castle and you walk 50 yards towards town, on your right hand side. Um, so yeah, this is genuine local craft. Okay, so the that little the Westgate Gallery is a collection of creators, of crafters from Pembroke Dock, 5-10 miles outside. No, when we're not talking people coming down from Swansea, Cardiff, those kind of areas. We're talking, people are local. So if you're taking the time to go to the castle, take the time to go to the courtyard as well and just have a wander around there because that is we're going to talk a lot about buying local in between now and Christmas. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about how we support our local economy. I'm going to throw a challenge out there for if you can find it on Amazon before you buy it on Amazon. Let me see if we can find it somewhere locally. So yeah, have a look in the courtyard market. It's going to be well worth it on that. And the more people, I think it's their first year of doing it. Um, I think there was kind of stuff going on there last year, but they never really promoted it this year. It's got promotion. There's going to be loads of stuff going on there. Pop in and have a look. Well worth it on that one. So again, same weekend. You can see a theme kind of building here and how you have one big event and then lots of small events at the same time, same place. So this is in the town hall. This is the Christmas market in the town hall. Again, 28th, 29th, 30th. They're all slightly different times. This is 11 till 3, 10 till 5, 10 till 4. So it's more afternoon. This one is a little bit more hippie-ish, I'm wanting to say, if that's more kind of the appropriate kind of term for it. It's a little bit more unique, a little bit more special, a little bit more different. It's not mainstream stuff. So if you've been to the castle and you can't find a present, and you've been to the courtyard and you can't find anything in there, then maybe this is the place as well for you. But you've got three Christmas markets all at the same time, all in the same place. Well worth going to on that. So we've also got Penna. Now Penna Hall will always deliver in when this time of year and stuff like that. I haven't included all of their events in the listings here. Please, please, please go to their Facebook page, like their Facebook page, um, and have a look at all their Christmas events. They have got a Christmas quiz. Nobody else is allowed to go to the Christmas quiz because I love a Christmas quiz and I would quite like to win that Christmas quiz. So, yeah, that's purposely not on there so that I can go and win the Christmas quiz because I am king of Christmas. I've done three Christmas quizzes and I've won them all. So and then I got roped into being the Christmas quiz master in my work. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. Penna Hall Christmas event, visit from Santa, stores refreshment, that kind of thing. Friday, 5th of December, 2 till 4. Well worth a visit on that. Bring the little ones, see Father Christmas. Always a good thing. So this is also at Penna Hall. This is Craft with Your Kids. So they do a load of this stuff. Saturday the 13th, 10 till 11:30. I think this one, yeah, 4 till 6 year olds. Ideal for the little ones. This is based on Stickman. So if you know, I love Stickman as a book. I've read it to my little ones when I was small. I used to know Gruffalo and Stickman off by heart. I used to do all the voices. So I love a bit of Stickman. I think he's a great character. And it's really interesting to see how it's become a Christmas kind of a thing. There is Father Christmas does appear in Stickman. So it helps him get back to his family tree. So it's well worth having a visit to that one. I don't think I'll be allowed. I'll be honest. It's yeah. So if your kids are a little bit older, there's also Crafty Kids on the 22nd of November from 10 till 12. This is £20. Wreath and wrapping workshop. Who doesn't want their kids to know how to wrap presents? Come on, people. That's well worth it on its own. Um, it's mainly making a wreath. So yeah, it's always a good thing. Book for your messenger, same as usual with Penna Hall on that one. So we've also got Santa Claus coming to town for Pembroke Town Hall. This is on December 7th, 4 till 7. You do need a ticket, but you can get that. It's a free ticket. They just need to know numbers, etc., etc. Little ones, they've got a little snow globe, bouncy castle, and it's all free. Mince pie and a cuppa. Basically, it's a nice evening to meet Father Christmas on that. So that is December the 7th, 4 till 7. I think that's a Sunday. Might be wrong. Okay, so this is at the Cricket Club. So they've got a whole load of stuff going on, and they very kindly put it in a nice list for us. So Saturday the 6th, there's a Christmas get together, Dragon Cabaret. On Sunday the 7th, yeah, Sunday is the 7th. So there's a Christmas market, grotto, stalls, etc., etc. Friday the 12th, children's Christmas party, Wednesday 17th, family bingo, Monday 22nd, Christmas jumper, cash bingo. So well worth keeping in touch with the cricket club on that. Loads of stuff going on. So I quite like the look of this. This is Manabia Village festive event. It's more of a collection of events. There's three locations in Manabia Village. There's Manabia House, there's Castle Inn, and then there's the Reading Rooms. Lots of different things going on. So this is on the 20th of December, so it's a little bit closer to Christmas. Starts at midday, goes on till late. There's an artisan market, festive food, drink, live music, DJs, carol singing, those kind of things. Just a little bit more kind of grown up and what have you, but sounds like a great kind of thing to make an effort to go and attend on that. And if you're going to call it the Solstice Eve or Solstice event, then you're going to have to sing Ring Out Those Bells by Jethro Tull at some point on those. I expect to see a video at some point. So, Saundersfoot Harbour have a Christmas market 5th to the 7th of December from 10 a.m. That usually finishes, well, I want to say kind of 6-ish. I think it depends on the weather. I think it depends how many people are there sometimes. But yeah, well worth going to that one as well. Loads of great shops around in Saundersfoot as well. So if there's nothing in the market for you, you can just pop and grab something to eat as well on there. So 15th and 16th, 10 till 3. So 15th and 16th of November, 10 till 3 in the Regency Hall. They've got the Saundersfoot Christmas craft fair as well. So that's on the 15th and 16th. That one there is on 5th to the 7th. So lots going on in Saundersfoot as well. I particularly like this one. This is at Great Wedlock Deer Park. So on the road out to Tenby, on your right opposite the dinosaur park, but you've got to drive on a little and then turn right and then come back in. So they've got a permanent craft market, but there's a bit of a Christmassy feel to it from the 6th and the 7th, the 13th and 14th, 20th, 21st. There's a bit of a Santa's Grotto. It's a really, really good place to go for Christmas presents. Yeah. In you look at things like Argos or Tesco's or those kind of things, B&M or whatever. This is about quality presents, something that's going to be different, something that's going to be special, something that's going to be a little bit unique. And you know, we've all been there where the kids have opened 10 presents and at 10 o'clock on Christmas morning, and by 3, half of them are broken and what have you. Whereas this is a bit more about the quality and those kind of things. So it's well worth a visit to that. And if you've got any questions or queries about what kind of stalls are there, go onto their Facebook page. There's loads more information on their Facebook page as well on that one. Okay. So I quite like the look of this one. This is at Scolton Manor. So Scolton Manor are doing a Dickensian Victorian Christmas. Now, again, this is more about a unique experience than, sometimes you can. I've been there and you just, every time there's a Santa's Grotto, yeah, okay, Santa's Grotto, Santa's Grotto, Santa's Grotto. This one, a bit like the Folly Farm one, is a bit more of a unique experience. Let's put it that way. So Monday the 1st to Thursday the 4th of December, Wednesday the 10th and Thursday the 11th of December. More about kind of what Christmas used to be like, playing Victorian parlor games, how to make a Christmas cracker, decorate your gingerbread man, all of those kind of things. There is an outdoor trail there. Well worth going on that. Inquiries, if you've got any questions, you can either contact Scolton Manor or the email address is down the bottom there as well. So we've also got, this is also at Scolton Manor, a festive workshop, but this is using natural inks and natural dyes to make interesting cards, decorations. Again, it's about learning and doing something unique, doing something special, giving someone a card. Great, fantastic. Here's a card that I wrote. Here's a card that I made using natural dyes. And what I learned when I made this card was blah, 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 blah. I've seen some of the stuff that these guys do. Really, really, really good stuff. And you start doing that. So once you've seen these kind of things, you'll walk around and you'll go, oh, I can make that into a red, and if I take that and add it to a bit of that, that'll make it a bit more purpley, and all of these kind of things. It's really, really interesting what they do. So there's only two sessions, 10 and 11. Well worth booking your slot on that if you're looking for something unique. A bit closer to home and again a bit different. Carew Castle. So if you're looking for a bit more of a all-round experience for Santa's Grotto. So Santa is back in his grotto at Carew Castle, starting on Saturday and Sunday, the 29th to December 14th. So, yeah, 3 weekends there as well. And a bit more, like I said, uh, Santa's grottos can sometimes become more very similar, whereas this is in a castle. For a starter, this is in a castle, and they do a really, really good job of that. So, yeah, luxury hot chocolates and mulled wine, obviously, well worth a visit to that. And I think there's also, yeah, so we've got the Glow Christmas illuminations at Carew Castle again this year. And this is very similar to what happens in the bigger cities and things like that. Maybe on a smaller scale, but yeah, it's they've got choirs there again this year. I'm still looking for choirs for Friday the 28th and Friday the 5th. You can get in touch with them for that. But if you're looking to go to the Glow event, then you need to book. It will be on their Facebook page. I've booked to go a couple of years ago, but the weather beat me to it on that one. But it's always a good thing to do on that. So again, lots of opportunities to meet Santa. Santa is very, very busy in between now and Christmas. So this is a bit closer to Christmas, December 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I think the kids are broken up from school then. You do need a ticket for this, but this is a bit more kind of traditional. If you're wondering why that Santa there is in green, because that is the original Santa outfit before Coca-Cola told you differently. So, well worth booking your ticket to go to that one. Like I said, that one is at Picton Castle. So go onto their Facebook page on that. They've got lots of other stuff going on as well at Picton Castle. Actually, there we go. This is the stuff that they've got going on at Picton Castle. 22nd, 23rd, there's a winter craft fair. December 6th, wreath making workshop. I think that's more of an adult one, where that December 18th, Christmas by candlelight. I think again that's more of an adult, more of a sing along, but I think it's a bit older, but you can bring the younger ones, but it's a bit more kind of traditional Christmassy type of thing. And then, like we just seen, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, Victorian Father Christmas on that. I've got a feeling there's going to be lots of other things going on. Well worth keeping in touch. Hey, so I wanted to throw this one in because this is a really interesting one. So Melon Gwent is a traditional mill in the middle of nowhere. And when I say in the middle of nowhere, when you go and find it, as I hope many of you will, you'll go, oh Christ, yeah, middle of nowhere. Yeah. So they've got their Christmas fair on the 15th and 16th, 10 till 5 on the Saturday, 10 till 4 on the Sunday. Lots of local, again, very, very local based. This is like middle of the county, slightly further up north, I guess, than Haverfordwest and Narberth. It's more up towards Fishguard Way, but in the middle of nowhere. So if you can't remember why you've heard of Mellon Gwent, they make the blankets and the cushions for very much the high end kind of places. You'll see them in Hollywood, you'll see them in films, you'll see movie stars walking around with them and all that kind of stuff. If you're looking for that unique gift, if you're looking for something that not many other people are going to have purchased, this is the place to go. Okay, so they've got the cafe there as well. I have no doubt that there will be uh, mince pies and mince pies and hot chocolate available. So well worth a visit on this one. I may well be going to that one myself just to try and experience something different because it really does look like a great thing to go. And that's this weekend. That's this weekend, the 15th and 16th on that. So if you're up for a bit more decorating and things like this, have a hub in Haverfordwest. This is the old post office, the old delivery post office. So this is really a community decorating event, just an invitation to come and help decorate and be a part of it. Reason I include this in here because this is the sort of thing that I've been talking about that we need to do in the dock. If we could get people together, take over the Woolies building, turn it into our local community hub, this is absolutely the sort of thing that we could and should be doing in our town centre. So yeah, well worth going, even if it is just on a scouting mission for that. So I'm going to finish off with the Folly Farm Father Christmas. Obviously, I know most of us will have been to this at some point. This year they've got, I think the Frozen Elsa and I can't remember her name. So they've got people dressed up going around. The fair is open. The gingerbread ale, Santa's Grotto. It is a good Santa's Grotto. It's a very well run Santa's Grotto. You've got the reindeer there as well. Really good place to go. Really good. If you want something where you know that you're safe and you're gonna, the kids are gonna enjoy it. That's the place to go there as well. So I have got a couple of other events that we've got going on. Say what I will do next week. I'm going to add this to the end. Sorry. Next week is food and parties. So anywhere with a Christmas menu or Christmas parties, Christmas events in many pubs, restaurants, those kind of things. Tag me in them, send them to me, whatever. Um, well, that's next week's one on there. Other events going on then, so getting prepped for this one, Saturday, 13th December. That's when the Three Amigos Christmas Toy Run is. That's a Saturday afternoon, starts at 1 p.m. at the Commons. This is an interesting thing. So this is at the um, Cromwell's Bar in Pembroke, but very much aimed at ladies. No reason why gentlemen can't go and look after yourself as well. But yeah, well worth going to that. That will be on the Facebook page for that. And then this is I was trying to find this last week. So up again the cricketers again, kids pool club. Think this is on Saturdays. Yeah, come join us every Saturday for pool lessons, future competitions. Under 12s must be accompanied. It's £3 a child, hot dogs, drink, 3 till 4 p.m. Well worth going to on that. So, what do we do with the kids on a Saturday afternoon? Get them up to the cricketers, learn to play pool. So, yeah, that's that one as well. And then as we head into the festive season, um, probably best to get this done before you start confusing your alcohol supply and your blood flow. So this is blood donation Pater Hall, Friday the 21st. It's all day. I'm not sure if it's still running the booking thing where you have to book. I think you need to let them know that you're coming and they can send you out information. But it's really important this time of year. We just need more blood at this time of year. It's without getting too down about it. There's more accidents. It's darker. It's wetter. It's windier. Um, More stuff happens at this time of year. Let's put it that way, and more people need your blood. So if you can, that's the place to go. Last thing then. So Penna Hall have got. I told you there's loads of stuff going on at Penna Hall. Loads and loads of stuff. So a Scar tribute band called Sorted. That is on Saturday, November 22nd. Doors at 7:30. Bring your own beer. Tickets are £10 each. There's the phone number down the bottom. I love a bit of Scar myself. I do love a bit of Scar. So that's well worth going to as well. Okay, that is all of our Christmas stuff done. If you've got any more, if I've missed anything, by all means do share it with me and I will pop it on the Facebook page. I'm gonna try and put that on our Facebook page again, but it's I think it's the size of the file is just causing issues. So yeah, but hopefully I might try and clip it and just put that bit out from the podcast. Okay. Next week then we shall do the as I said at the end, we'll do the Christmas menus and places to eat and parties and all that. So if you have got anywhere, particularly in the dock, if there's anywhere running specialist Christmas menu, things like that, I have seen a few around already. Please let me know. What I'd really like to see, I said this should be in my, wouldn't it be nice? But um, what I'd really like to see is like a fish and chip shop doing like a Christmas special dirty fries or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, anything like that, let me know whether it's a sandwich shop, whether it's a takeaway, whether it's a restaurant. If you've got a Christmas menu, I want to hear about it and we'll talk about it on next week's show. Okay, so I promised last week we would do memories of the old junior school, which if for those of you who don't know, the old junior school used to be where the doctor's surgery is now. So that whole kind of area used to be the junior school. It was you used to have the community centre where we used to go and play football with this tiny, tiny little ball, this like miniature ball. But that's how we used to play um, football. If it was raining outside, you used to go in the hall and play football, and you'd have like teams of four. Because even then, it was a really really small hall. And we used to do all of our Christmas shows in there as well. So yeah, it used to be a nice place. But then you used to have the fourth year block, which now I'm going to talk as it was back then. So first year, second year, third year, fourth year. I don't know. So it'll be six, five, four, and three. So I don't know. I don't know. But first year of the juniors was when I was there, Mrs. Griffiths and Mrs. Jones. So I was in Mrs. Griffiths's class, obviously. And then second year was Mr. Rogers and Mrs. Guest. Mrs. Guest she used to scare me. I don't know why. I think she had quite a loud, sharp voice, but she used to scare me, Mrs. Guest. And then third year was Mr. Dando and Mrs. May. Now, both of those are really, really nice. Both of those were really, really nice people. And then, so it would kind of be, it was almost a circle. So you'd go, well, a square that you'd walk around, and at the top you'd have like the headmaster's office and the dinner hall. And then, yeah, you could kind of walk around the square and then back and but then you'd go over the playground to fourth year and you had Mr. Wright, uh, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Baker was year one. Yeah, Mrs. Baker and Mrs. Griffiths, not Mrs. Jones. And then you had Mr. Davis was Welsh, so that was kind of like the side of the the canteen area. There'd be and then your pee changing rooms, but on the way out, so you used to walk out the side of the building, down the road, and over onto the football pitches, which is now where the new school is. So that used to be the the football pitches. Now, what was the PE teacher? Colin Evans? I'm wanting to say Colin Evans. He got roped in to do history every now and again, and he had to teach us how the Romans would do gladiator school. Um, he, but yeah, it's weird how you look back on it and you kind of go, how that was a thing back then. But yeah, the bits that I remember about that school, the main bit I remember was in year three. So yeah, in Mr. Dander's class, we used to sit at the back. Um, I used to sit at the back of a lot of classes, to be fair. But I used to sit at the back, and that school wasn't made of concrete. It wasn't made of blocks. It was a wooden school. Um, it was plywood. It was made of plywood. The walls were plywood, and you could see quite often where that ply. So if somebody dented a wall or something, and you'd see there's a thin little bit of um, something inside that probably asbestos. In all honesty, um, but yeah, at the back of Mr. Dando's class was a hole in the wall, and I could put my hand out through the wall and check and see if it was raining in the playground and things like that. It was really weird that we didn't think anything of it back then. We just that was the school. That's where you went to, and that's how you just did things. So yeah, his other bits I remember in that school were when we used to have assemblies, we used to have to sing religious songs during the assemblies, and they used to be on this massive fold over thing that used to pull it up and then leave it down, and it was huge. It was like that, and but there were two of them, one at the front, one at the back, and yeah, so we had to sing "Morning Is Broken" and all of that kind of rubbish during assemblies and things like that. And when you got to the fourth year, you were allowed to play volleyball. Remember, we used to have a volleyball court that was kind of like round the back of it, like in with Mr. Davis's Welsh room and the canteen kind of make an L shape, so it was in that kind of gap there. But yeah, so we all pretty much everyone in Pembroke Dock at that point played volleyball because it was a thing in the school that you just played volleyball. Everybody played volleyball, and it was cool. It was you're only allowed to do it if you in the fourth year. You could only be trusted. Um, but yeah, you go and set your nets up, and you play. We all knew the rules, um, and it was just a thing. This is what you did in the fourth year. And if you were in Mr. Wright's class, quite often on like a Friday afternoon, we played quick cricket. There'd be a set of there'd be the wicket would be a chair, and he'd bowl, and you had this tiny little bat like this, and like the rule was as if you touched it, you had to run. You had to run around and all of that. And he used to do this thing, and I do it with my kids now, where when he used to bowl, he used to look up in the air like that, as if he was throwing. He'd throw one up in the air and then go up and down and bounce, bounce, and you go, and away it would go, lovely jubbly. And then he'd do the next one, and he'd look. So instead, you'd think it was coming up like this, and he'd be looking up over, but he'd throw the ball that way. Oh, and it was a nightmare to actually pick that bowl and whack it. But yeah, Friday afternoons used to be quick cricket with Mr. Wright, and it's you look back at things here. I remember where we used to have reading time. So a teacher would sit there and just read to us, and we would sit there and listen to um, a book being read. And I remember first of all, we read Danny, Champion of the World. And I kind of thought that that was okay. It kind of related to me. And then we read the BFG. And I just thought it was brilliant. It was, and having a teacher read to us and do the voices and, oh, where's my stars covers and all of this kind of stuff. And I then took that on and did that for my kids. When I read stories to my kids when they were small, I made sure I did all the voices and some of the actions and all of that. Um, so yeah, it's interesting to look back on it. We used to play football every lunchtime, and at one point we started playing American football, but we didn't really know what we were doing, and it was good fun. It was good fun, but yeah, there was a couple of us that kind of knew, and then there was one kid who just went, "Nope, we're doing it my way," and he was the only one that had an American football, proper American football. I tried playing rugby there once, But again, I didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue. I didn't even know. I knew you had to pass back, but that was about it. Um, and we didn't play touch. We were on a concrete playground and we didn't play touch. We just if if you could grab hold of someone and stop them, and then that was it. So yeah, memories of the old school. So you must have some as well. There'll be a whole batch of us. I think that school opened in about 75. I was there through 80s. I wanted to say 80, 82 to 87, probably something like that. I think I was probably there. Um, so yeah, share with me your memories of that school and school discos. Oh God. Yeah, we'd have a Christmas disco, we'd have an end of term disco, and yeah, so just very typical disco thing where girls would dance and boys would just run around the outside, see how fast you could go. Yeah, send me your memories of Pembroke Dock Junior School, good and bad, because yeah, be good to catch up on those. Okay, let's so I will put a post out as I usually do, asking for your thoughts and comments on on Pembroke Dock Junior School back in the 80s. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to doctor surgery. So doctor surgery's been in the news again this week, because nothing has happened, and that's kind of my issue more than the doctor surgery. Yeah, we've covered this previously in the past, where the surgery is working hard to serve as many people as it possibly can um, to recruit additional doctors. The money is there, they're desperately trying to recruit additional doctors. But it's not working for one reason or another. So to now have politicians who either directly or indirectly were responsible for a lot of the people who used to work there leaving, for those politicians to be standing up and going, "Oh, this is awful, this is dreadful, and this is nothing to do with me," to me is a little bit insincere. It's not a little bit insincere; it's very insincere, and it's not the first time these politicians have done it. They go, "Here's a problem that's been caused by a lot of what my party has done over the last 10 to 15 years, but this is dreadful." Um, so yeah, I think it's time to call these people out more than anything. They're not if they want to help and do something for the NHS, then fine, then go and do it. Go and find the money, go and recruit the people, go and create the situation where doctors want to come to here. You know, we are competing for doctors. We didn't used to have to compete. We didn't used to have to compete for people. And then, like it or lump it, Brexit happened, and it caused a massive issue to the supply of doctors to our part of the world, and it made it a very unwelcome area to come to. And we haven't helped ourselves with some of the comments that we've thrown at the surgery. I've been told unofficially, not by the surgery, but from people that kind of know that several doctors have been offered a position to the surgery, and so a couple of them have started, and inside a week they go, "I'm not putting up with this," you know, and they get abuse. There was one doctor who was British but Asian descent, and after he had served uh, after he'd done his consultation, then had a load of abuse off the person that he just served. He just got that person there, referred them to wherever, whatever it was. I don't know the details of it, but after the doctors helped that person then turns around and gives that doctor a load of verbal abuse. I don't know if it's true. I wasn't there, but that's what I've been told, and it's a fairly reliable source. So, there's a lot of this that we got to put our hands up to and go, yeah, this is why doctors aren't coming here, and we need to improve that situation. But there's also, you know, if politicians want to help, the first thing they can do is put their hands up and goes, look, we've made a mistake. and regardless of which party that is, um, everybody bears responsibility, whether it's Labour in Cardiff, whether it's the Tories in London. They've both played a part in putting um, Argyle Street where it is. So neither of them can hold their hands up and say, "Hey, look what we did with this. This was great." Um, what they can do is put their hands up and go, "Look, we made a mistake and we want to apologize for that and we want to put things right." And nobody is doing that. Nobody's putting their hands up and going, you know, "You guys down the end of the road that you've been mistreated." And I for what I think we need to start standing up for ourselves a bit more. I think we need to stand up to Valero, and the power station and go, "Well, you want to make millions? Valero makes billions out of petrol. It makes millions. Regard they can try and tell you that Pembroke doesn't make any money. That's an internal accounting procedure that I've seen 100 times. If it wasn't making any money, it would get closed down. Simple as that. So we get treated like the little people at the end of the line by far too many people. We have our goodwill used and abused, and we don't have that self-confidence to stand up for ourselves and say this isn't right, this isn't what happens. And I think we need to. I think we need to. I think we need to be on the side of the doctor's surgery, and we need to start putting pressure on people that make decisions to make decisions that work for us, not that work for everywhere else and not us. Um, and the way to do that is to be united, is to have everybody together in one place. And I said this before, my point with Valero is about putting a bus. Valero should be busing people in and out. I don't care if it doesn't suit them. It doesn't suit the town around the amount of traffic and the attitude of drivers going back and forth to Valero doesn't make it a pleasant place to live. So if you want to make millions out of us, then you need to support the town, and we as a town need to stand up and say, right, this is not acceptable. And the same is true of the doctor's surgery. We need to stand up together and say this is not acceptable. We stand behind the doctor surgery. We stand behind the Argyle Medical Group and say we need to support these guys, but people up top need to support them more. Um, and if anybody's got any sense and they want to win votes for the next election, they would be moving heaven and earth to get another 10 doctors into Pembroke Dock in the next 6 months. And whatever is needed needs to happen quickly and permanently as a long-term solution, because it's not right, it's not fair, it's not acceptable now. But like I said, my beef with it is that when it comes around election time, and you can see the Tories starting it already, and I don't particularly like doing politics on here, but when people are trying to make political gain out of their mistakes, out of their issues, out of their policies, then that's where I get narky with it. That's where I go, this was a change that you campaigned for, that you said was going to be better for us, that you said was going to deliver the golden sunshine fields. And you were told, you were warned that that wouldn't happen, and you were warned that you would end up like this, and you still went out on campaign to make it happen. And now you want to turn around and go, this was nothing to do with me. And that to me is a bad politician. That to me is a politician that is in it for themselves and isn't there for the people. So that's my rant on that. It annoys me. I don't like to say I don't like doing political bits, but I will call it out when I see people be it trying to make gains for themselves off our backs. I would love to see us all stand up and fight for our doctor surgery. I really would. I think the people in our Argyle Street are fantastic. Um, I went through cancer treatment a couple of years ago, and they could not have been more helpful. They could not have been more um, supportive for me. And my wife the same when she's gone through her cancer treatment. So, you know, it's yeah, I'm not going to pretend that it's perfect because I know everyone in that surgery wants it to be better, um, and it can be better. And I think we need to get behind the surgery and support the surgery and welcome doctors to the area. Throw them a welcome party to tell them they're welcome to the area. You know, make a point of going in and saying, "Hey, you're new. It's really nice to have you here. Welcome to Pembrokeshire. Welcome to Pembroke Dock." That's the sort of stuff we need to do because the humans as well. Okay, I'm gonna take my grumpy hat off now. Yeah, I'm gonna take my grumpy hat off. It just knocks me. It just knocks me. It really gets my goat with two-faced people. Yeah, anyway, let's move on. Let's move on swiftly to Christmas markets. So I've shown you how many Christmas markets are around. There are loads of them. There are tons of them. They're everywhere. They're springing up like ants in the middle of summer. So, yeah, but we don't have one in Pembroke Dock. Why? Why don't we have one in Pembroke Dock? We've got 10,000 people in Pembroke Dock, and they're all going to Pembroke and Tenby and Haverfordwest. Oh, come on, people. We've got lots of creative people in Pembroke Dock. We've got lots of makers in Pembroke Dock. We've got lots of people that want to buy stuff. We've got lots of people that want to sell stuff. Let's connect the two. And this goes back to my thing about your Woolies and Haverhub. You've seen that I said it when I was doing the events guide, turning Woolies into a community hub where we can hold markets, community cinema. We could have community workshops in there. You could do your pottery in there. You could do painting classes in there. You could do music classes in there. We could have live bands playing in there. We could do Christmas cinema in there. Loads of stuff we could do, but we need to do it together as a community. Um, so yeah, for me, that's the answer to the Woolies conundrum, to how do we breathe life back into our town centre? And wouldn't it be nice to have our own Christmas market in there? There was a time a while ago where we used to close Diamond Street and hold markets on Diamond Street, Diamond Street, Diamond Street. We'll talk about that one in future. Um, but yeah, there was a time where we used to do that. It was a summer thing, but if we wanted to do a Christmas market, we could totally do that. Absolutely, totally do that. It would not affect many people in a negative way at all. You've got St. Govan's acting as a bit of a link through as well. So you could have additional bits in St. Govan's. You could have stuff down all down the street. We could put a tent up if need be. Put tents up all the way down there. If we had the Woolies building, we could put it in there and it could kind of overflow into the street. You could have your market stalls in there, and then you could have your entertainment out on the street. We could have, music. We could have a bar out there. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to just have a reason to visit our town centre in Christmas time? We used to, I, we used to have. I would definitely remember a like a massive glockenspiel thing. Not a glockenspiel. An automated music maker with monkeys and elves and Father Christmas playing glockenspiels within the thing. That must have been part of a Christmas market. You know, we we're in a situation where we can make it happen. I would love to see that happen again. I would love to see Pembroke Dock be, you know, when they started the market in the castle, first couple of years they were learning, and now they're singing and dancing. it would take a while to get going, but I just think that it would be fantastic in Pembroke Dock if we did something. So that's my wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to have a Christmas market in Pembroke Dock, street market? Let's use Woolies. Let's have some songs. Let's have some dance. Let's have a community cinema. Let's make a big thing of it. Let's do it on a different weekend to Pembroke because that's just dull. Um, we've got the car parking space. We've got the facilities. We've got the people. We've got everything we need. We just don't have the market. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, let's. I'm going to throw that one open to socials as well. So yes, comment on our socials. Wouldn't it be nice to have our own Christmas market? What could we do? What would you bring? What would you sell? Who would you have? Because it would be great to have more people involved in that. Who knows? One of these days, somebody's going to take one of my ideas and actually go, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll go do that. Let's make that happen." But there we go. Okay, that is it for wouldn't it be nice? Let's go and do a little bit of sport. So sport for this week, the rugby is very short and sweet. Quins weren't playing last week. Managed to hold on to second place in the table thanks to Pembroke losing to Newcastle Emlyn. Still nothing in place for the Quins until 6th of December, where they host Langham on that. So if you want to send me the youth results, by all means, that would be cracking on that one. So let's have a look at the football. Now, if you're a Robins fan, it's probably time to turn away for a couple of minutes because, yeah, we said last week about how important this game was for Swift and the Robins, but 7-0 is a bit of a pasting, and to be on the wrong side. I mean, it could have been worse. Look at the score of Hakin and Fishguard, 13-2. Oh, okay. So where does that leave us in the table? We're still mid-table. You look how congested that mid-table is, so nothing too crazy at the minute. Kiru down the bottom there, one off the bottom. They're in a little bit more trouble than the rest of us, I think. So this weekend, Kiru host Fishguard Sports. Fishguard fresh from their absolute battering at the hands of Hakin United. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Robins travel to Tenby. That'll be an interesting game as well. Well worth watching. So I know this isn't, Pembroke Dock related, but this one here, Swifts versus Hakin United, first versus seconds. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting game as well. Well worth keeping your eye on that one as well. Let's drop down into Division Two. So Division Two, Kira reserves had a bit of a tonking at Hakin United reserves 3-1. Hakin came out on top of that one. I think that is it for there. Where does that leave Kira reserves? Firmly rooted to the bottom. And this week they have got a trip to Nayland. There we go. A trip to Nayland, who are third in the table. So not getting any easier for them there. Okay, into Division Three. Loreni Loreni drew 2-2 with Camrose reserves. Not a bad result there for Loreni. And the Borough, a 5-0 win at home against Kilgetty seconds. Nice one there. Robins, unfortunately, or Robins seconds, unfortunately, had a 5-1 pasting off Haverfordwest Cricket Club on there. Where does that leave us all in the table? Leaves Borough in third. So they have got one game in hand over the Cricket Club. It'll be interesting to see if they can make the most of that. Loreni are in fourth, and then the Robins seconds are one off the bottom there. Okay. Fixtures then for this week. Loreni host Broadhaven, Borough travel to Letterston, and Robin Seconds host Tenby Seconds. So decent fixtures for this weekend. Division 4 results from last week. So I know it's not necessarily Pembroke Dock related, but the local derby was Angle and Hundleton. Angle came out on top of that 5-2 on that one. Yeah, we don't really have anybody else in there. That was it's a bit of a non-table for us, and there, but I'll just show you those just in case you're interested. Division 5. So again, Division 5, we've got the Rennie Reserves beating Milford United thirds 3-0 on that one. It's always a little bit more difficult when you get further down the table. Lorenia Reserves fourth off the bottom, moving upwards. Pembroke Borough Reserves didn't have a game last week, but yeah, in fourth. So games for this weekend then. Now I'm looking for the Borough Reserves. Borough Reserves against Letterston Reserves. There we go. Should be an interesting one. And Lorenie travel to Narberth Reserves on that. Okay. And that is it for the sports. Same as usual. If you've got anything you want us to cover, any results, any games, anything of interest that's coming up, please do send them in. I'd be more than happy to talk about them. So that's all the sports news done. And that is it for the week. See, I've always tried to make this a bit kind of positive and happy and smiley and things like that. And I don't know. I just the bit about the doctor's surgery is still ranking with me. It's still not great. So yeah, apologies if I've made you grumpy on that one. But by all means, sticky comments below. Let's have a chat on socials about it because I want to get more of you involved. If you do want to be involved with us, email me on ilovetowncat@gmail.com, message me through Facebook, whatever it is, and let's get you on. So until next week, so next week we're going to do the menu one. Tag me on those. Let me know if there's anywhere that you particularly want to shout out because they'll be great. And we will do that one next week. And until then, have a great week. Stay safe. Look after yourself in the weather. Stay dry. And let's make Pembroke Dock proud. All the best. Ta-da. Be strong. Be strong.